Have you guys ever been here? It's 2 a.m. and you're wide awake listening to her cry over some other toxic guy. You're the first one at her door with Advil when she's got a sniffle. You're the handyman fixing her leaky faucet, or the free Uber driver picking her up at midnight when she's wasted. You think you're racking up points to be the husband of the year, but you want the cold, hard truth? The truth is, as soon as she stops crying and that faucet is fixed, she's gonna take a shower, put on her sexiest outfit, and hop into the car of a guy who never does any of that crap for her. Why? Because he's the prize and you're just the convenience store. That's the pain of being an emotional janitor. You provide every service from therapy to transportation, only to be rewarded with a nice guy badge. You want to know why? Because you're too cheap. Anything that's always available, anything that comes when called, anything that never says no, it has zero market value. You're operating like a vending machine. Push a button, out comes the soda. Nobody worships a vending machine. They use it when they're thirsty and kick it when it gets jammed. Human psychology is twisted. We don't crave convenience. We crave scarcity. A high-value man protects his time like it's his life. If you don't have a world of your own to stay busy with, if your life revolves around waiting for a text, then I've got bad news. You've turned yourself into a clearance rack item at a thrift store. People only treasure what they feel they had to earn. But you're giving a 90% discount with a free gift, and still nobody's picking up the phone. Stop asking why they don't respect you. Ask why you're selling yourself for pennies just to get some scraps of attention. Most men are born with a life sentence called the need for approval. Be honest with me. How many times have you been stuck at a bar choking down cheap beer until you're ready to puke just because some guy said, "Come on, man, don't be a buzzkill"? You do it for your bros, for your colleagues, for some neighbor you barely know. You please everyone except yourself and the family waiting for you at home. You're terrified that if you stand up and leave, you'll be the outcast, the pussy-whipped guy, the party pooper. But do you know what that crowd actually thinks? They don't see a loyal friend. They see a puppet that's easy to pull. This need to be liked is sugar-coated poison. It makes you think you're building network, but you're actually snapping your own spine. When you accept unpaid overtime on a Saturday just to please the boss, he doesn't see a dedicated employee. He sees a free resource he can drain until it's dry. When you're too scared of a woman's tantrum to speak up against her BS, she doesn't see a gentleman. She sees a man with no red lines. Remember the last time you went to a party and got stuck at the kids' table? That table for the people who are just there, the ones nobody really cares to talk to. That is exactly where you sit in life when you're too agreeable. When you have no standards, the world will use you as a placeholder. Being spineless under the label of loyalty is the fastest way to kill respect. A man who everyone can boss around, everyone can peer pressure into drinking, everyone can borrow money from with no return date. That's not a good man. That's a weak man trying to buy social acceptance. The brutal reality? People only respect a man who has the capacity to be dangerous but chooses to be calm, not a man who is calm because he has no other options. Stop being the welcome mat, because trust me, people will wipe the mud off your boots on your face and walk right past you without a second thought. Now let's talk about how you take your kingdom back. You need to understand the ultimate law of power. Respect is never a charity gift. It's a tax people are forced to pay if they want to enter your world. If you want respect, you have to become difficult in a sophisticated way. Look at the most expensive things in this world. What do they have in common? Barriers. A Rolex doesn't tell time faster than a $10 Casio, but it makes you wait. It makes you qualify. And sometimes you have to get on a wait list just to see one. That's the art of scarcity. If you're available 24/7, you're pricing yourself like a buy one, get one free coupon. Start setting your red lines. When a woman acts out of line, instead of standing there over-explaining yourself like you're on trial, be silent and walk away. The silence of a high-value man is louder than 1,000 screams. It sends a message: my kingdom has rules. If you don't know how to behave, you don't get a ticket. Are you afraid of losing them? That exact fear is what makes you look cheap. High-value men aren't afraid of being alone, they're afraid of losing their self-respect. When you prioritize the gym, your career, or just your own meditation time over some useless happy hour to stay connected, the world will start revolving around you. Your true peers will respect you because they see you're heading somewhere, while they're still stuck at the bar clinking glasses with ghosts. Remember, being nice without a backbone is just cowardice with a moral label on it. If you want to be loved deeply, make sure they know they could lose you at any moment if they stop being worthy of your time. Stop playing search and rescue for everyone else's drama when your own house isn't even built. When you learn to say no to the mediocre, your yes will finally carry the weight of a king. So choose. Be the sovereign of your own empire, or be a plastic bag on the sidewalk for the world to stomp on. The decision was never theirs. It's about whether you have the balls to straighten your spine.